Sell everything right now. Solana is going to collapse. What is up, guys? Welcome back to the Verse Crypto channel, the #1 altcoin channel in all of crypto. My name is Khaos Kris, and I'll be your host today. Before I open this video, smash the like button, hit the subscribe button, and turn bell notifications on so I keep you guys up to date with the latest, greatest news and information within this space. With that being said, let's hop right in this video. Today, we're going to be talking about a new ecosystem that is absolutely thriving with meme coins. Most of you guys have heard of Solana. This past bear market, a lot of people thought it was the end due to the FTX collapse and its ties to Sam Bankman-Fried. But turns out Solana has actually been developing an insane meme coin community. Out of that, I've done some research and I found something interesting on the chain about a new narrative that's popping off. And I'm really excited to share with you guys some plays today that I think could potentially be absolute sleepers on the Solana blockchain. But first, I want to take some time and review my past picks. As most of you guys know, I've been doing videos for a minute, and I really like to use these videos as a way to record my cryptocurrency experience and also to look into projects that I make calls on, whether it's good and bad, and also use it as a great learning tool going forward into this market. Because as I continue down this road, I want to share my experience with all you guys, because at the end of the day, if you guys win, I win. I want to get into Andy on Blast. If you saw a previous video, go check it out, because we talked about the Blast ecosystem and we dove in and we discussed what our thesis is on Blast. In my opinion, I think Blast is a sleeper of an L2. I think the utility behind it is absolutely awesome, and I think it's only a matter of time before we see this L2 blast off. Now, coming over here to Andy on Blast, there's a thesis I had. Andy is going to be for the yellow chain, Brett is going to be for the blue chain, and then Wolf is going to be for the red chain. Now, I missed the boat on Brett and Wolf, so I decided to just pull back and just let it play out. I think they're great projects. I know Brett had a little bit of a FUD event. I didn't really dive into it. I'm just going to let it be. But I do firmly believe that Andy is going to be a sleeper on the Blast Layer 2. Now, when I first shilled this token and did a video on it, it was basically right around, I believe it was the beginning of this month. So if we just take a little quick look at the price analysis, this thing popped a little bit. I believe it was close to a 2x, and then we did a little bit of a retracement sitting at 50%. Now, what I'm seeing on this chart right now is we have a little bit of a pop, and there's a good chance that we could potentially come down here, test this resistance out one more time. So I'm going to bring this out a little bit more, and then maybe just bring it down just a tad bit. So we're basically testing this support, and then if we come back up here, there is a potential that we could form a little cup and handle, which will actually give us a pretty awesome price target if this trend were to play out, which would mean that Andy could potentially swing up to right around 53 cents. So that's going to be your first price target. Now, depending on how the market goes and news on Blast, a lot of this is very unpredictable. Your second price target is if we were to go down, we would have to come down here and test out the 6 to 7 cent line. So in my opinion, those are going to be your two primary main targets, or we could just trade sideways across the board. So overall, I do really think Andy will have his time to shine, and because it potentially could be one of the #1 meme coins on the Blast chain, and it's also a Pepe derivative. And in my opinion, when it comes to Pepe derivatives, Pepe is always going to be the supreme token. But a lot of these Pepe derivatives could potentially get to a market cap anywhere between 10% and 20% of the main narrative token. Now, I'm going to talk about that in a later video because there's a little bit of an explanation behind that. But that's just a really good rule of thumb to what to expect for a token like Andy. Now, the next token I talked about, Linea. Let's do a little full screen right here. Now, Linea is one of the biggest tokens on the Linea blockchain. This is another layer 2. Linea is backed by Consensus. I firmly believe that Consensus, who also owns MetaMask, has a plan to pump this chain like crazy. I've also spoken with a lot of people that were telling me that there's possibly going to be a meme coin run on Linea. Not financial advice, just speculation. And when it comes to this stuff, speculation is probably going to be the type of plays where you can get paid, because, you know, cryptocurrency is extremely risky. Now, when I first thought about Linea, we're actually coming up on a run up, and we are sitting at about, it was like about 62% increase, and now we're getting up at about 72% from when I first talked about it. So what I think is going to be going on with Linea and the overall price chart right now is we basically are hitting this support line, and there's a little magnet coming out. So we came up, tested, come up again, tested again, came up, broke past it, tested, and then came back down. We're trading back this way. So overall, this is going to be your first magnet. And if we start to break down out of this pattern on the daily, there's a good chance that we could come down here and test a magnet at 4 zeros and a 3. And if this project doesn't really play out, there's a good chance we can come back down here and test 4 zeros and a 1. Now, the other thing I want to point out here that I'm seeing on the daily is we're forming a little bit of a cup and handle. And the question is, if we were to break out, can we break out of this cup and handle, which would give us a potential price target. And let me bring this up real quick. And we'll bring this up right here. So that will give us a price target of around 0.00014. So if this project were to break to the upside, there's a good chance that we'll come up here to 0.0014 and then come back down and test whatever support or resistance is down here. But overall, this price chart is extremely bullish. And another cool rule of thumb that you guys can take a look at is if I just come right here, you can draw a pretty awesome trend line coming across. And a great rule of thumb is when you're doing trend lines, the more these candles touch the trend line, the higher probability that that trend is following what's going on with the price. So based on this trend line, we're basically coming up here, broke out, came back, went down under, faked you out, came back up, down, pop, coming back down, broke out massively, came back down, and tested this trend line. So as long as we hold this trend line and continue to go up and to the right, this token definitely does have some momentum. Now, on top of what's going on with the Linea token, I also saw something interesting with Altcoin Daily. Altcoin Daily is actually talking about Foxy as one of the top meme coins on the Linea ecosystem. Now, why is that important? In my opinion, I think Foxy is one of the VC funded tokens that's using airdrops to bring people onto the chain. And if we just come over here and just take a little look-a-rooski, the market cap 38 million and liquidity is 4 million. And overall, based on what I'm seeing and based on how this is being played out, I really do think that this is a way to bring influencers to the chain. That's part of the reason why I think Linea is going to be the sleeper out of all these tokens, because there's no VC pump and dump. It's community driven, and it's only sitting at about a $5 million market cap, and it plays into the dog narrative. So overall, things are looking really great for Linea. It's only a matter of time before we start to see Linea start to do its explosive run. Now, the next thing I want to talk to you guys about, I want to get into some stuff with Solana. If you guys have been following the Solana narrative, you probably have seen a lot of meme coins pop. We saw Bunk. We saw a lot of these cat coins. This chain has been firing, and there's a good chance that a lot of VC funds are coming on, pumping up meme coins, and getting people excited about the chain. At the time of this recording, the volume is sitting at $1.72 billion. Now, after doing some research on Solana, we saw a recent market dip, and that was a great opportunity to jump in and start making plays. There's a good chance that Bitcoin is going to trade sideways for the rest of the month and maybe going into the next month, which means this is your one opportunity to jump into awesome plays that you faded in the last run up. Now, a really great play that's popping up all across all these chains gets into the Politifi message. And if you guys have been following politics, you already know that the United States is going through a election this coming year. And there's a good chance that a lot of these political memes are going to pop off. Now, one of the most popular memes, and I'm going to try to pull this up right now. Actually, let me get the right name. Is going to be Joe Biden. Now, Joe Biden plays into the plays into the TARD narrative, where we have these really crazy characters. They do a lot of awesome films and videos, and a lot of people are gaining traction on X through them. Now, this one climbed to a massive market cap. It's sitting at $177 million at the time of this recording. And from its initial run up, this thing exploded almost I would say 224x. And then from where it's sitting at today, that's about 300x, which means this thing was almost at $500 million market cap. So in my opinion, this narrative is going to be very, very big. A lot of people are excited about it. I see some of the funniest videos. If we come over here to the Twitter channel, you can already see that a lot of people are really jumping into stuff like this. Now, based on this specific narrative, we're also seeing other characters pop up, and I found a great opportunity that is getting me so hyped up, and I think could potentially be an absolute sleeper. Now, we have Joe Biden, and the next logical play is probably going to be this coin called Hunt Biden. Now, Hunt Biden plays off of Hunter Biden. A lot of you guys know the president's son. I'm not going to get into the politics, nor do I want to get shadow banned, because I want to keep putting out videos that can reach you guys. But ultimately, Hunt Biden is another token within this new political fi narrative. And in my opinion, this thing's going to be a sleeper, because if you guys have been following Hunter Biden, he actually has a court case next month, which could potentially be a huge momentum point in this token, not financial advice. So right now, at the time of this recording, from its bottom, it's sitting at about a 2x. Now, when I jumped into this token, it was, I believe it was on May 8th. So when I jumped into Hunt Biden, it was right here, just full disclosure. So I haven't really gone up that much. I believe I'm up about a 20x. Now, what I'm seeing in this price chart right now is that we clearly bottomed out. So this is a bottom, and then right here is a lower high. And typically with lower highs, a great rule of thumb is if you have about, I believe it was a 9% drop, it's considered a lower high. So we're starting to see a positive uptrend in this token, and we're following this trend line right here. Now, what I do expect is we're going to have to come up here and retest this level coming across. So we might come up here, test this out, bump down, come back up here, test it out, and then bump right up. Now, taking a look at let's take a look at the Fibonacci retracement tool. So we're also going to have a magnet at the 0.236 right here. And this is also going to be another level that we have to come back up and test. And then the other one that we're currently trading at is going to be down here. So yes, that definitely plays out overall. So overall, we definitely bottom out on Hunt Biden. And there's a good chance that if this thing gains traction, it could run up and be a similar narrative like we see with Joe Biden. Now, for your next narrative, it plays back into this Politifi Memecoin narrative. This one is absolutely crazy. And when I saw this token, I went absolutely bananas. And the name of this token is Johns. Now, I know most of you guys know who this is. I'm not going to specifically say his name because, as I said, I do not want to get shadow banned. But Johns is another political meme that has been gaining traction across the board. They actually went onto the show and they're creating a Memecoins media studio called Meme Wars. And so in my opinion on Johns, there's a good chance that this could play a really great narrative, especially in the election season when we start to see politics gain charge. And the developer behind this community has been absolutely crushing it and gaining so much traction. And so that's why Johns is also my next sleeper and my next pick. Now, I made an entry on this token at about 0.004. And so we're sitting at 0.006, which puts me at a 41% increase, so that's pretty good. And then from there we did about a 1.5x. So there's a good chance that we might see some more bullish news, but just looking at this chart right across the bat, it is extremely bullish. We have a nice positive trend line coming across here, and we've been holding this level, came back out, up, came back, tested it, touch it, touch it, touch it, touch it, came down, faked you out, boom, back down, came back, tested, went up, came back down and tested this support. So overall, it's going up to the right. I do think Johns is going to be another great play in this new political fi meta. And now for your third and final Solana meme coin gem. This is a project that was actually launched by one of my really good friends, and he's actually a developer on the Pulse chain. The name of this token is Dumble. So Dumble is very similar to Atropa and PDI on the Pulse chain. If you guys have been following the PDI pegging, I did a couple live streams on it. I have a couple videos, so please check it out on the channel. But overall, what Dumble's trying to do is create as many liquidity pools as humanly possible. And the goal is to drive as much volume through this token so it creates a price floor that grows over time. Now, if I come over here and just paste in the contract address, you can see the amount of liquidity pools that's being paired up with Dumble. You have Khaos, which is the Costco hot dog, Trimp, Gummy, Hobbs, Wally. You also have Habibi, Roar, Adam, Haggard, and the list goes on. So overall, in my opinion, I think Dumble out of all these tokens is going to be the ultimate sleeper. And this thing is sitting at a $464,000 market cap. Now, if you guys saw one of our live streams, we talked about this token, and my entry on this token was right around here. And I want to point this out real quick. Do a quick red line, and a quick red line right here. So my entry was about 3 zeros and a 2, and now we're sitting at 3 zeros and a 5. Which gives me a 1.4x from the bottom. So actually not looking pretty bad. Overall, what I'm seeing right now in the chart is we have a big cup and a little bit of a handle. And I put out a price target on live stream. I'm saying that it could come up here to 0.05974, which actually puts us almost 10% within that price target. So that's absolutely crazy. So this was the price target we were crack-a-lacking looking at right now. So that's awesome. The other thing I'm seeing on the price chart right now is we're testing a previous magnet right here. So there's a good chance we come up, come back down, test it, and then we come back to this target. But overall, very bullish on the token. And there's a good chance that as we continue to see volume drive through Solana, this price floor on Dumble is going to continue to expand. Now, the last thing I want to say about Dumble, there's going to be a launch of a bridge from Solana straight to Pulse chain, and Dumble is going to be the main bridge token, which means the token is going to be taken over to Pulse chain, and a liquidity web is going to be developed on Pulse chain. So it's going to be the first cross-chain token that can be used through a bridge. And it also has a cross-chain liquidity pool. So if you guys got any more questions, you can come over here to Dumble. Check out their Twitter. I'm gonna pop it up right now. I believe their Twitter is going to be at Dogwarts Solana. So guys, that's it for the video. When I started this video up, I asked you one question: is Solana going to collapse? Well, in my opinion, I do think there's a massive VC pump on the chain. This is great potential for meme coins. I do not like how Solana is extremely centralized, but there are meme coin opportunities on this chain. And if you guys are a degen like me, you know, you definitely want to take advantage of these opportunities. Do I think something bad's going to happen to Solana in the future? There is very well a possibility, but also please keep in mind, high risk, high reward. Please make sure you de-risk if you jump into these tokens, and none of this is financial advice. And if you guys want to learn more about what I'm doing and my cryptocurrency experience, check us out at theverse369 on x.com. And before I wrap this video up, smash that like button, hit the subscribe button, and turn bell notifications on so I keep you guys updated with the latest, greatest news and information within the space. My name's Khaos Kris. I love every single one of you guys. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out, y'all.